live for the second edition. Well, I'm going to allow the guys in the back to have a seat. All right, it's a packed house. Yeah, so seats are limited. Once again, I want to thank the Division of Health for allowing us this space to host this second edition of the Dream 11 Bago T10 Blast. I mean, the excitement is already building. I mean, the captains, the franchise owners, they are here, still trying to ratify and rectify their squad. Already, we would have had 7 players retained by the 6 franchises. But before we get into the draft, of course, I want to thank each and every one who are currently live on Cricket 360 for your patience in allowing us to start at this time. What we're going to do at this draft, we're going to be drafting 7 additional players. As I mentioned before, 7 players already retained by the 6 franchises. So the draft today will see 4 additional Tobago players and 3 players not from Tobago, because obviously we have players from outside Trinidad and Tobago. So once again, I want to welcome all the guys here this evening. For those who are here for the second time, thanks again for supporting the Dream 11 Bago T10 Blast. $100,000 the first prize. Who wouldn't want to support? Yes? To get right into it, I think the guys would have already picked their numbers. But for those online, just to give you an idea of the players retained, and of course, don't forget to share the live, Cricket 360. Vinod and the guys, don't forget to share the live. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go through the retained players for the 6 franchises. Once again, we retained the names from the last edition. Pigeon Point Skiers. We have Pirates Bay Raiders, Kings Bay Royals, No Man's Land Explorers, the defending champions, Mount Irving Surfers, and Storby Snorkelers. And I'm going to start off with the skiers, the players that they would have retained. Each team were allowed to retain 3 Tobago players and 4 players not from Tobago, meaning that you could have retained 4 Trinidad players or any amount from outside of Trinidad and Tobago, but not exceeding 4. So starting with the Pigeon Point Skiers, the team that would have finished at the bottom of the table last year, they have retained Jaden Kent, Joshua York, Adrian Alexander from Tobago, and the players outside of Tobago, they have retained Mbike Joseph, Akil Cooper, Darren Cookshank, and Leonardo Julian. Pigeon Point Skiers retained players. All right, so one of the owners are asking me to go again. Right, so the Pigeon Point Skiers retained players from Tobago, Jaden Kent, Joshua York, Adrian Alexander, Tobago players. And the players from outside of Tobago, Mbike Joseph, Akil Cooper, Darren Cookshank, and Leonardo Julian. All right? And going to the Pirates Bay Raiders, they have retained Nevin Stewart, Shaquille Duncan, and Xavier Reed out of Tobago. And the Trinidad players, or the players outside of Tobago, Evan Lewis, Marlon Richards, Christian Turton, and from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Shaman Hooper. For the Mount Irving Surfers, they have retained Ansel Ned, Selvin Duncan, Kishon Dillon from Tobago, and outside of Tobago, Kirsten Kalicharan, Cephas Cooper, Justin Gangu, and Shatugan Ramaran. I got that right. Let's stick and go along the man. We already start late. I'm going to repeat. So the last one there, Mount Irving Surfers, they retained Ansel Ned, Selvin Duncan, Keyshawn Dillon from Tobago. I was hoping that the teams would have gotten this list before today, but let's go. Trinidad players, or players outside of Tobago, sorry. Kirsten Kalicharan, Cephas Cooper, Justin Gangu, and Shatrugan Rambaran. Can move on there. Right, Kings Bay Royals. They have retained Orlando James, Jaron Alfred, and Deems Beard from Tobago. Outside of Tobago, Christopher Ramsaran, Liam Manchan, Kyle Ramdu, and Nicholas Sukdio Singh. Good day? Tension building. Tension building. And Nicholas Sukdio Singh. You can say Suki or Punchin. Going on to the snorkelers. They have retained Joshua James, Keelan Lynch, and Anthony Providence from Tobago. Joshua James, Keelan Lynch, and Anthony Providence. Outside of Tobago, Daniel Williams, Terrence Hines, John Ross Jagasaw, and from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dylan Douglas. Defending champions, No Man's Land Explorers, they have retained Shaquille Johnson, Ako George, Keel Russ from Tobago, and outside of Tobago, Aaron Alfred, Kian Isaac, Michael Gavaya, and Dexter Sween. Just allow me to share the live. Right. So we're good with the retained list, right? Right, so those are the players retained by the 6 franchises. And as I would have mentioned earlier, what we are going to do today to complement or to complete the team of 14, we're going to have 7 rounds of picks today. What we're going to do, we're going to start with the Trinidad players. The Trinidad players are players outside Tobago. And with the 7 players or the 7 rounds today, we're going to have 4 players coming from Tobago and then 3 players outside Tobago, right? Outside of Tobago means Trinidad and around the region, right? And just to give our viewers an idea of the persons that would have registered for the draft, the numbers that I've seen had 99 players from Trinidad. We had 58 registered from Tobago and 14 from around the region. I saw 1 player from Canada as well. And we had players from Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I think we had a guy from St. Lucia as well. All right, and the teams are allowed. And Pakistan too, yeah, you had a Pakistani, Wazim Akram. Yeah, so the teams are allowed to pick in their free from outside of Tobago any of those players from around the region and internationally as well. And as I mentioned earlier, the teams would have picked their numbers. We have 6 franchises here today. And when my assistant is ready, she's going to indicate to me which of the franchise will have the first pick.
That would be Mount Irvin Surfers.
Mount Irvin Surfers, right? So we're going to start with the Trinidad players first, or the players outside of Tobago, which you are allowed 3 picks, and then we're going to go to the Tobago players. That's understood, right? That's understood? Right. So among Turban surfers, yes, when you're ready.
All right, good night everyone. Among Turban surfers, with our first pick, we pick Sunil Narayan.
Sunil Narayan. Sunil Narayan, selected there by the Mount Turban surfers. I no need to mention the already long rap sheet of Sunil Narayan, West Indies player, and so many franchises around the world. I'm happy that he, of course, will be gracing us with his presence here in Shaw Park, Tobago. Don't forget the competition starts on the 21st of March and ends on the 5th. Ready for the second pick? Who was number 2? Pigeon Point Skiers, your pick is up. And some of the teams, they are here with their agents online. So I'm guessing that's what the Pigeon Point Skiers currently discussing their selection. As I mentioned, 99 players from Trinidad registered, 58 from Tobago, and 14 from around the region and internationally. Anthony Lewis. Sharon Anthony Lewis, a big left armour, selected there by the skiers. Who's Kingsbury Royals? Chadion Raymond, selected by the Royals. Raymond considered an all-rounder. Snorkelers, your pick is up. Tion Webster, selected by the Snorkelers. Of course, last edition he played with the defending champions, the Explorers. He's now in the camp of the Snorkelers. And now to the Pirates Bay Raiders.
Pirates Bay Raiders select Christopher Vincent.
Christopher Vincent, exciting left-arm spinner. Can bat as well. Very dangerous with the bat. Very versatile, in fact. Selected there. So that's the first round completed. No Man's Land? Oh, yes, sorry. My apologies there to the defending champions. They are here represented by their coach, John Pollard. I'm told they would have invested their $100,000 wisely. Your pick is up, Mr. Pollard, Explorers. Navin Bidesi. My good friend Ryan Bash will be very happy with that pick, man, from quite long in Beach there. Another exciting all-rounder, played last year. So that completes the first round. What they say, the last shall be first? Right? No Man's Land? Anderson Mahes, young talent out of Trinidad, selected by the Explorers. Pirates Bay Raiders, your pick is up.
The Pirates Bay Raiders select Mr. Darren Davis.
Darren Davis, selected by the Pirates Bay Raiders. Storby Snorkelers. Justin Joseph, selected by the Snorkelers. The Royals, your pick is up. Rashawn Williams, guy from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not from Barbados, sorry. It's a national pick there by the Royals, and they are going to be led this year by our young national player, the Orlando James. Royals. And just waiting for the skiers for their selection. Wrong number 2 of 3 for the Trinidad picks. And the skiers, they are online with their agents. So once again, guys, this is the second annual Dream 11 Bago T10 Blast happening right here in Tobago. It starts on the 21st of March, ends on the 5th of April at the Shore Park Recreational Ground. I expect that all of Tobago and around the region, Trinidad, are going to be here to witness some really exciting cricket. And the timer is ticking on the skiers to get their second pick in. And shout out to the Tobago House of Assembly. And yes, you ready? And it cuts. Go ahead. Jesse Bhutan, selected there by the skiers. And that ends wrong number 2. One Moncton Silver, sorry. Sachin Sicharan, selected there by the Surfers, Moncton Surfers. The wrongs are coming really fast. So Storby, you will have the opportunity to pick first in this final round for the players outside Tobago. Lendell Simmons, just getting better and better here today. First we had Narayan, now we have in Simmons. West Indies experience. I know guys online are already thinking about getting tickets to get into Shore Park with Narayan and Evan Lewis and Simmons. Most definitely it's going to be really exciting in this second edition. So it's going to be Royals, your pick is up. Let's check the mic there for me. Just waiting on the Royals for their final pick in the Trinidad pool. Of course, once again, live coverage this year is going to be brought to you by the Cricket 360. Let's call the name, I'll repeat it. Zachary Siwam. Zachary Siwam, right? Siwa. Zachary Siwa. Selected by the Royals. Just trying to sort out the mic there. Yeah.
Zachary Siwa.
All right, selected there by Royals. Of course, some of these names are household names in the cricket fraternity in Trinidad, and playing for some of the top clubs in Trinidad. Skiers. Aaron Nanan. I want to thank the skiers for that quick selection. Is now the surfers. Surfers, your pick is up.
Filton Williams.
Filton Williams, selected there by the surfers. Brandon Ramdial.
This
Selected by No Man's Land Explorers. And Pirates Bay. Pirates Bay readers. The final pick in the Trinidad pool.
we select Daniel Holder.
Daniel Holder. Left arm bowler and batter. More so a bowler. New to this Dream 11 Bago T10 Blast. Exciting times. All right, so waiting on my assistants here to give me some guidance. All right, so we're going to go into the Tobago wrongs, right? And what we're going to do, we're going to start from the top again? Or we're going to continue coming down? We're going to start over, because it's a different pool. It's a different pool. So we're going to, let's continue. Excuse me 1 minute, please. All right, so we're going to continue with the order in which we would have established at the start. We're going to get into the picks for the Tobago players. 4 Tobago players to be selected in this round. And we're going to start off with the Raiders.
We select Josh Telemak.
Josh Telemak missed the first edition. Exciting left-arm seamer. Can bat as well. Young player. No Man's Land Explorers. So we're now into the Tobago round. Leon Lizama, man from Buku Point, Tobago, left-arm batter. Very versatile, can bat anywhere in the order. Moncton Surfers. Akel Koshi. And just last weekend, if you've been following the Tobago Cricket Association for 2 years, you saw where he scored 96 runs Yeah, so man from Palativier, yeah, up north side, young player. Not against CMB. So it's good to see that the youngsters have been drafted. First time for Akel Koshi. I know his mom and dad would be very proud. And they're going to be in Shore Park supporting him. Whole of north side. Best place in Tobago, north side. Castara to be specific. Whose pick is up there? Tandika? Pigeon Point Skiers? Brandon Melville. And from Roxborough. Second year in a row, Brandon has been selected. I want to thank Skiers again for your prompt pick. Show them for me, Tandika. Kingsby Royals. Kwame Thomas. He had another guy out of Northside, Tobago, of spinner. Very handy with the bat as well. And from Bloody Bay, Tobago, selected there by the Royals. He played with the Skiers last year. Snorkelers. I didn't hear clearly. Dejon Charles, selected there by the Snorkelers. The Snorkelers, and you can hear the noise in the background. That's a big selection there by the Snorkelers. Dejon Charles, just this year, called up for national trials and played with Clarkwood in Trinidad last season. And of course, he was in the camp of the defending champions, No Man's Land Explorers. And this year, he's with the Snorkelers, hoping to bring some success there. So I know the Snorkelers are very proud of that selection. Jagasan team. Royals, your pick is up. Elon Reed, aka Tobago's Bravo. And airport security by trade. Very versatile and dynamic in the field. And I will leave it right there. Well, yes, Elon Reed, my good friend, selected there by the Royals. And of course, in this format of the game, you need fellas who can save you like 10 runs in the field. And definitely Elon Reed can provide that for the Royals. Snorkelers? Dario Melville. And from Roxborough, left-handed batter. I'm just being corrected there. He's from Dallaford. And our president is from Dallaford, and he was the one corrected me there. Very proud. Dario Melville, man from Airports Authority. So good to see Dario in the mix as well. Pirates Bay Raiders.
We select Simmons Peters.
Simmons Peters. Very dynamic fielder. And definitely can give you something with the bat if need be. A newlywed youngster. Has his head on most definitely. So he's now over to the Kevon Samuel, the No Man's Land Explorers, selects Kevon Samuel, not known for his hard hitting, but can occupy the crease. Ashon Pierre, another left-handed batter, represents one of the bigger clubs in Tobago, Kinamona Court Sports Club. Good to see him selected with the Surfers. I'm very familiar with the player there, Ansel Ned, here today selecting for the Surfers. So some really big names, not only in Trinidad, but also in Tobago being selected. Already I'm just thinking about the amount of balls the TCA would have to purchase for Shore Park. with the likes of Narayan and Simmons and Evan Lewis, Sean Pear. And who knows, you may see Marcus Daniel. Yeah. Who's pick Tandika? Skiers. You were going good, you know. You were going good, skiers. Your pick is up. This is like when you're in primary school, you know, you have to select your team, 2 captains. And the teams are here still deliberating. Obviously, you would have come with your plans, but sometimes your plans can go contrary. The other franchises would select some of the players that you would have earmarked for selection. You ready now? Donovan Roberts. Donovan Roberts selected by the Skiers. First time for Roberts. And if you know anything about Donovan Roberts, he's pure heart and soul, all-rounder, nice seamer, can definitely give you some runs with the bat as well. All right. Lots of left-handed batters selected thus far. Tandika. So we're going to rung number 3 now, right? Rung number 3 for the Tobago players. Skiers, you again? Desroy Ferguson. Last time I checked, Desroy is a keeper by trade. Yeah? Very handy. So obviously, teams are now looking to finalize their squad. 14 players per franchise. 7 players from Tobago and 7 from outside Tobago. Surfers. Pick is now for the surfers.
Kerry Cordner.
Kerry Cordner. Another player from Canaan Monaco Sports Club. Kerry Cordner, very versatile with the bat. And just allow me 1 minute, please. Final player selected there, Kerry Cordner by the Surfers. Right, and of course we had a little technical glitch here with the Tobago list. 1 player was excluded by the name of Dwayne Murray. So players are allowed to, the franchises, you guys are allowed to, if needs be, select Dwayne Murray as one of your players, if needs be. No Man's Land Explorers.
Andy Davis.
Andy Davis of spinner and can hit the ball a mile. Teams very strategic with their selection. Into rung number 3 of 4 for the Tobago players. The Raiders.
RSB Raiders select Dwayne Murray.
On cue, Dwayne Murray, selected by the Raiders. Wicketkeeper batsman. Can only play on Sundays. That's my good friend. Dwayne Murray, a.k.a. Figo, out of Charlottesville, Tobago. What a wicketkeeper he is. One of the better keepers we have on the island. That's a really good pick there by the Raiders. The Snorkelers, your pick is up. Atto James. And you can hear the excitement in my voice with that one. Atto James kept last edition, and he's in the mix again with the snorkelers. A big man behind the stumps there, Atto James. And I can tell you right now, he's rejoicing with a beer in his hand. Royals, your pick is up.
Clinton Brooks.
Clinton Brooks. The big names, the big guys, they are not coming in here.
What did you just say?
Clinton Brooks, a.k.a. Bolivar. The big man in Roxborough, Strikers. Didn't feature in last year's edition. He's definitely going to play a pivotal role for the Royals this year. And this guy, 6s and 4s, no singles, no 2s. And that's not by either 6 or 4. Special selection in a special run. So we are back to what the skiers here, Tandika. Always a relaxing time at Pigeon Point. Hence the reason we're having a delayed. Oh, Moncturvin, right. So we're at Moncturvin now. Keneal Boucher. Man from Backhill, Wim, Tobago. Another good feeler. Yes, so some nice selections here by the franchises. And it appears that they would have done their homework this time around. Looking for the skiers, probably by Basso still, having a rum punch. The skiers, this is rung number 3, the penultimate rung for the Tobago pool. And once we have completed the rungs, I'm going to go through the selections for you guys online. Davion Shangi selected there by the skiers, aka Mini Me. Yeah, selected there by the skiers. So this is the final round for the Tobago pool. In fact, the final round for this evening's draft. Who's going to get in there? Royals, you're up first.
Theo Bruce.
Theo Bruce. Selected by Orlando James and the Royals. That's their final pick. And immediately Orlando took to his phone, so I'm thinking some trading happening there. The snorkelers. Michael Ramdas. Just before I came here, Ramdas asked me for the link for the live. I guess he expected to be selected here. So good congratulations there to Michael Ramdas. He worked really hard and would have improved tremendously. I know his mom definitely going to be very happy with his selection for the snorkelers.
Paris Clay Raiders select Quinton Brooks.
So we first had Clinton Brooks. Now we are having Quinton selected by the Raiders. Some would say that the Quinton better than the Clinton. You're going to see how that will play off. How that will be playing off on the field of play. And now up to the Explorers.
We are going for Ajani Allen.
Ajani Allen scored his maiden half century last weekend. And that probably would have propelled his selection here today by the Explorers. Congratulations there to Ajani Allen. That's it. Are we complete? When you are finished, can I have the list so I can go through again? But I think you guys should give yourselves a round of applause. That process was really well. No throwing of water across the tables. And I must say, even without seeing the list, this is going to be a really exciting second edition of the Dream 11 Bago T10 Blast. The likes of Lendell Simmons and Selona Ryan and even Louis Wansey are available to come across where cricket plays sweeter here in Tobago. But guys, once again, the second edition starts on the 21st of March, ends on the 5th. Every single match going to be taking place at the Shore Park Recreational Ground. In terms of times, we're going to share those information or other information for you guys on the Tobago Cricket Association page on Facebook. You can follow that for all information pertaining to this tournament. All right, so just to go through the listing once again, and I'm asking for protection if it is that some of the names, I missed the pronunciation, right? So we're going to start off with the skiers, and their list of 14. Jaden Kent, Joshua York, Adrian Alexander, Mbike Joseph, Akil Cooper, Darren Cookshank, Leonardo Julian, Sharon Lewis, Jesse Bhutan, Aaron Nanan, Brandon Melville, Donovan Roberts, Desroy Ferguson, and Davion Shangi. The 14 players selected there by the Pigeon Point skiers who would have finished at the bottom of the table last season. Hopefully they can address that this year. The store-based snorkelers, Joshua James, who is doing wonderful work there with the West Indies Emerging Players team in the West Indies 4-Day Championship. He is with the snorkelers. Keelan Lynch, Anthony Providence, Daniel Williams, John Ross Jagasaw, Dylan Douglas. I think Dylan Douglas got like about 4 Man of the Match awards last year. Man from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Terrence Hines, Tian Webster, Justin Joseph, Lendell Simmons, Dejon Charles, Dario Melville, Atto James, and Michael Ramdas. The 14 players selected by the snorkelers. Pirates Bay Raiders, Evan Lewis, Marlon Richards, Christian Turton, Shamon Hooper, Nathan Stewart, Shaquille Duncan, Xavier Reed, Christopher Vincent, is Deron Davis, Daniel Holder, Josh Telemack, Simmons Peters, Dwayne Murray, and Quinton Brooks. The 14 players for the Pirates Bay Raiders. Mount Irvin Silvers, Ansel Ned, Selvin Duncan, Keyshawn Dillon, Kristen Kilicharan, Cephas Cooper, Justin Gangu, Shatugan Rambaran, yes, I got that right, Sunil Narayan, Sachin Citran, Filton Williams, Akel Kwashi, Ashon Pierre, Kerry Cordner, and Keneal Boucher, the 14 players for the Mount Irvin Surfers. Kingsbury Royals, Orlando James, Jaron Alfred, Deems Beard, Christopher Ramsaran, Liam Manchan, Kyle Ramdu, Nicholas Sukdio Singh, Chadian Raymond, Ryson or Rishon Williams, Zachary Siwa, Kwani Thomas, Elon Reed, Clinton Brooks, and Theo Bruce. And the final team, No Man's Land Explorers, they have selected Shaquille Johnson, Akwo George, Keel Ross, Aaron Alfred, Kieran Isaac, Michael Gavaya, Dexter Sween, Navin Bidesi, Anderson Mahes, Brandon Ramdial, Leon Lezama, Kevon Samuel, Andy Davis, and Ajani Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, the 6 franchises to compete in this year's June 11 Bago T10 Blast, March 21st to April 5th. Yeah. I expect to see all of Trinidad and around the region here in Tobago, where cricket plays sweeter. For this competition is going to be held over the Easter weekend as well, where we expect, or we always have a number of visitors to the island. So pack your coolers, Jump on the fast where we come across and have a good time. As I said before, you can follow the Tobago Cricket Association Facebook page for more information on this competition. And yeah, come across and have a good time. Thank you so much for joining us today. I want to thank the guys from Cricket 360, Sid Gray and Mr. Vinod Manchan. Yes, and expect to see you guys from the 21st of March to the 5th of April. Thank you so much.